Hey guys, it's Allison with Allison's Notebook, and today I'm going to be going over 5 tips that I have on how to take care of yourself if you're an extremely busy person. So lately I've been extremely busy. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel, I'm trying to build up my blog, and I have a full-time job on top of that. I am doing a lot, and I have been teaching about self-care on my website at Allison's Notebook, and I realized that I needed to practice it more for myself, but I also realized that a lot of people are probably going through what I'm going through, where they are extremely busy and they don't know exactly how to fit in self-care into their day-to-day life. And that's why I want to talk about self-care specifically for extremely busy people. So the first tip I have for taking care of yourself if you're extremely busy is something that I just heard 2 weeks ago, and that is to schedule time to think. This to me sounded so counterintuitive. I had never heard this before, but it made so much sense. And when I heard this idea, I just felt myself take a big breath and sigh of relief. On my calendar, I will actually put time to think. This to me is a little bit different than like meditation because it's based around my career and my work. This is time that I set aside to strategize or to think about a project I'm currently working on differently. The next tip I have for self-care if you're extremely busy is do the thing you're dreading first. So I know also this sounds counterintuitive, and I've heard about this from a few different resources. By doing the things you find tedious, it can actually help you to have a more productive day because you've gotten the big gross thing you don't want to do out of the way. There's different thinking around this too. Some people want to do the easier things that they're motivated by first. I like to do the annoying thing first because then I can look forward to the rest of the things that I have to do. And that brings me to my next self-care tip, which is to make sure that you are rewarding yourself. I reward myself by getting to the tasks that I really enjoy. But there's a lot of other ways if you're extremely busy that you can reward yourself. Whether or not you've just completed a task, I think it's important to affirm and reward your busyness and what you're doing. Some of the ways that I will reward myself, especially when I'm really busy, I'll spend time on things that I really enjoy. At my office, I actually created what I call an inspiration station, which sounds so silly, and everybody made fun of me for doing it, and everybody loves it. I've got a bunch of those giant Hawaii squishy stress things. I've got a Rubik's Cube over there. I have drawing and coloring, and people actually utilize that. So that's one way that I reward myself, is by allowing myself to spend some time doing something creative. Another way that I reward myself is to try to make things special whenever possible. For example, I had some downtime between 2 work events a couple weeks ago, and I decided I was going to read a book, and instead of just reading a book in my car, I decided to go somewhere and spend that hour with a glass of wine and read that book. And to me, it felt like a huge treat. It was something I wasn't planning on. I did it by myself, for myself, and I didn't really have time to do anything else between those 2 work events, so it felt like a really nice way to use my time. Another thing that I think is really important when you're taking care of yourself and you're extremely busy is to make sure to get time away from your computer. For all of the things that I'm working on right now, it requires a lot of computer time. Working on YouTube requires a lot of computer time. Working on my blog requires a lot of computer time. And my full-time job is for a web-based service company, and that requires a lot of computer time too. It's extremely important for me to take time away from my computer. That means that I don't eat my lunch in front of my desk anymore. I eat my lunch somewhere else where my computer is not, and I found that it feels really good to get away from my computer. The last tip I have is kind of like a 2-parter tip. The first thing is to prioritize. I think it's really important when you're taking care of yourself and you're really busy to make sure that you're putting the most important things first. That way, if you run out of time, you're not worrying about things that really need to get done that you didn't have time to do. And then the other part to this is to be really patient and forgiving with yourself, because you're not always going to get to even the things that you thought you absolutely had to get to. And I think it's really important when you're very busy to go easy on yourself, because when you're fully booked, one thing that comes up that's unexpected can throw your whole day off. And sometimes you just can't control that. Sometimes you can have a backup plan, it's awesome, you still get a lot done, but sometimes no matter how hard you try, you're just not gonna be able to get all the things done. Those are my self-care tips for people who are extremely busy. They've come in handy for me and I hope they will come in handy for you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every single week. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I post a lot of other things there as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Even my cat loves your show.